Well, hello everyone and welcome to our first 100 days in Better Minecraft. We are playing on Minecraft 1.20.1, and if you've never played Better Minecraft before, it's a mod pack that adds hundreds of mods to the game, introducing loads of new structures, mobs, crops and food. Despite all these additions, it keeps the gameplay very similar to vanilla Minecraft. So if you're ready, grab a snack and a drink and enjoy my first 100 days in Better Minecraft. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, as I am just getting started and would hate for you to miss out. Now, without me holding you up any further, please enjoy our first 100 days.
Hello blocky builders, and welcome to a brand new world in a brand new series. We are playing Better Minecraft, and I hope you enjoy this series as much as I enjoy making it. So in this series we will be doing a lot of exploring, building, but we will be doing it with a difference. As part of the rules for the series, I'm not going to be making any crafting tables, breaking any crafting tables, or destroying any structures unless we mark them for destruction, which will mean we will have to destroy them completely and remove them from this world. So without too much further ado, let's get going. The sun is rising and we need to find a safe space to sleep. The day doesn't last forever and we need to get going. Now, since the aim of the game is to not make any crafting tables unless we need them to craft other items, we will need to be quick and find some naturally generated crafting tables. Now, in this mod pack, Better Minecraft, there is a lot of structures, and I know a lot of them do generate with crafting tables in there. Polar bear. The area around us is so beautiful, and you will see a lot of beautiful biomes that's added in this mod pack. Now, if we look here in the distance, looks like there might be something right over there, and we would be so lucky if that is a peaceful village. But now I don't want to get too excited too quickly, because I have played this mod pack before. More polar bears. I have played this mod pack before, and I keep getting distracted by what's around us. But anyway, as I was saying, I have played this mod pack before, and I know that everything doesn't always seem as it looks at first glance. It looks like we've got a nice castle over here, but I am scared of being too comfortable. This could just be dangerous as well. Let's get closer and see. Maybe we are lucky and we can get started very quickly. But no. That's not going to be safe. Those are they pillagers? Let's have a closer look. Yes, this is definitely not safe, and I think we are going to have to turn around and hightail it out of here. Maybe look in the opposite direction to see if we can find any safe structures. Just to remind you, we are looking for a structure with a crafting table so that we can get started. I'm not going to be collecting anything along the way, because with all the blocks and items in this mod pack, your inventory does get very flooded very quickly, and before we pick up any loot we need to save space to keep our loot. Now let's run around, see if we go in this direction, if we can find anything safe. So while we are running around, let's have a quick look here. There is quite a few advancements in this mod pack, which we'll return to later and inspect in detail as we try and get some of these advancements. So now we are finding some bunnies, it looks like. Now these rabbits are, when you're looking for them, you cannot find any, and especially these white ones in the snowy biomes, they are really hard to see if they are not moving around. If we can just get up this hill and see if we can spot anything. Oh, there looks like a nice cozy little house. That looks a little bit worn down, but I guess we can go closer and have a look-see. So by the looks of it, there's nobody living in this house, but we can never be too careful. So I just want to look around, make sure nothing dangerous is here on our tails, and then let's get closer and go and have a look. This looks really pretty out here. And then I see there's another building that we can go and have a look at. I hope either one of them does have a crafting table so that we can just settle down. But let's see. This one I see spider webs, so this looks really deserted. Let's have a look if there's anything inside. Overgrown, no door. I don't know whether it could be trapped or anything, but let's have a look. Nothing, absolutely nothing in here. This, I think we could come back to this at a later point and just fix it up. I mean, the whole aim of the game is to enhance the world that we are in. Let's go and have a look at this building. That looks like a nice quaint little house, and I don't see anybody moving around, so let's just go and have a look what's in there. Ow! What was that? Those things we have to remember to be careful. They do pack a punch and cause you to lose a little bit of health. If you're not careful, that could be really disastrous. Nice little house, flower pots in front of the windows. Let's see, where's the entrance here? I can see some bookshelves. Double doors for the entrance. The clock on the wall, that looks really interesting. Bookshelves, lanterns, no crafting table. There are 2 barrels here. I'm not going to open them right now. We'll come back later to loot it. And then I also see these pots, which I know sometimes could contain loot. But it looks like the journey continues. So night has caught up with us, but here between the trees I do see a little structure, and this looks, well, this really has to be safe. If this isn't safe, we might be in for a tough night and not survive the night. Well, advancement mate, welcome to Dungeons and Taverns, safe haven. So this is safe if we trust the advancements. Don't see anything dangerous at first glance. There's somebody sleeping in that bed. This bed's open, so let's have a nap. So our safe haven is safe, in fact, and I think this is a good spot to start the journey. Now guys, I am bummed. I am having trouble with the replay mod on this mod pack, so I need to log in with a different account on another computer to do these cinematics. but we will make it work. Maybe I get the replay mod sorted sometime soon, then I don't need to do that, but for now I think it will work. So over there I can see a crafting table and a smoker. There's a wheat seed. Our first item collected in this world is a wheat seed. Let's just have a look in here. Nice little bedroom. I guess this is the master bedroom. It's bigger than the one I slept in last night. And in the smoker there's 2 pieces of charcoal, which I think can stay just there. Then we've got the crafting table over there, so we can actually start crafting items. This over here, we've got a little storage room with a chest. We'll come back for the loot in a few minutes. Let's just see. So what's upstairs? It looks like another storage area up here. Wheat bales and pumpkins. More wheat and another chest. So I have seen this structure before, so I know that chest on the top floor should have a map to a dungeon or another structure. Hello, Eugene. What have you got for me? A butcher trading meat. I'm sure we'll find meat to trade with you somewhere. Now let's just have a quick gander out here. Don't know what we should call this. Is it a shed or just an outbuilding? But there's some hay bales. Another little lean-to with more hay bales. We've got a well. Another shack, outbuilding, some logs. So this is a really nicely set up safe haven. It's got a wagon with a fletching table inside. So that means, hello Frederick, I guess you're a fletcher. Let's see, what trades do you have? Oh, easy emeralds for sticks. That could be of a great help. So flint, that's not really useful. We've got a campfire to cook our food with. So let's quickly have a look at the quest book that's in this pack. I'll quickly run through it, do the tutorial, and then show you a quick glance at the quests that is available. Again, the same as with the advancements, we will get back to it and dive deeper into it at a later point. For now, I just want to show this to you, and so that we can get a start with maybe some storage for loot, and then go back to the structures that we've already found, collect the loot, come back and make a start with what we are planning for the series. While I go out in the world and collect our loot from the structures that we have discovered, why don't you drop down in the comments and let me know. Have you ever played Better Minecraft? Are you considering it? And while you're down there, remember to leave a like if you've liked this video so far, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to stay up to date with new content. And enjoy the time lapse. So that was exhilarating. Would you like to know what we got? Let me show you. Let me show you all the loot that we managed to gather. How about it? I'm excited. Maybe we can start working on other projects soon. Wow, how's that? Is that too quick for you? Okay. Now, we found quite a bit of food. I think we are set for a while. Also got a few emeralds and some tools. Thank you for joining me. If you made it this far into the video, you surely have liked it. So please remember to leave a like. And if you would like to stay up to date with new content, hit that subscribe button. I won't disappoint you. Now, while I deal with this butterfly, I will bid you farewell, and I'll see you in the next episode. Remember to come back. We've got loads more to do. May your pickaxes forever be sharp, and I will see you soon. Hello Blocky Builders, I'm so glad to see you. I was getting bored, so I started clearing out some trees, making space for our start home. Yes, we are going to have to start building a start home. We did get some food by looting the 3 structures we found so far, but we need to look at our safety as well. And all the items we're collecting are in danger of creeper blasts where they are out there in the open. So of course, while clearing the trees, my axe had just had to break and I needed to go and craft a new one. Fortunately, this crafting table isn't too far from where we are at, and it wasn't a pain at all. With my new axe in hand, I went ahead to clear out all these burnt down trees next to the lava pool. This lava pool is a danger for our villagers, but we're going to have to deal with it because at some point we are going to need obsidian, and this lava pool is so close and so handy to get obsidian from. And I'm also thinking this lava is going to be a great fuel source early in the game. And as I finish chopping down the burnt trees, the 5th day of our adventure is coming to an end. The most pressing issues we're going to have to deal with next is getting a reliable, renewable food source and gathering resources for our start home. But first, I need to go and have a nap because we are definitely not ready to deal with the nightlife in this world yet. After a lovely nap, we started the next day by making a furnace and a few tools to help us collecting resources. This all happened before having breakfast consisting of a piece of bread and a pork chop. After breakfast, we placed our furnace in the wool, filled it up with logs and fueled it with a lava bucket so that we can get some charcoal to make some lights in this world. Because who wants to live in the dark? Next on the agenda was gathering some spruce wood, and we continued doing this until eventually our axe decided that it had enough and it broke. Yes, we completely used up our axe. At this point we got a free refill, which basically moves an axe from your inventory into your hand should you have a spare one. We continued chopping down a few more trees, after which we replanted some of the saplings and collected some mossy cobblestone, before going down into this hole where we proceeded to mine more cobblestone until eventually our pickaxe also broke. By this time it was becoming dark and we had to return home to have another nap. So 6 days in and we are just getting started. early the next morning we had to deal with a creeper or two and send a spider back where he came from. We were in this cave, we decided to collect the ores that's visible to us. We found some coal to make torches, 2 pieces of iron and a few pieces of copper. Back on the surface, we were awaited by a wandering tradesman, or elite salesman as I'd like to call them. But he didn't have anything of interest to me, so I continued on, clearing the space where we are going to build our starter home. I did this until night fell. While collecting some sand, I heard screams from the villager being attacked by a zombie, and I had to stop what I was doing to save him before finally going to bed. The next morning we made sure the villagers can't get into any more trouble. I mean, Eugene almost died, before I gave them some bread for breakfast. And then I went out to collect some sand and fix the crater left by an exploding creeper. We put some sand into a furnace to make glass, and the rest of the day I spent collecting ash from the burnt down trees next to the lava pool. And so we get to day 9, the day I will always remember. I placed some furnaces, and the plan was to smelt some cobblestone into stone. I mean, we are getting ready to build here. And the unthinkable happened. So that was really unnecessary. But let me go and pick up my items. The gravestone mod that's in here makes it easy to retrieve your items. But even with the surety that I can get all my items back, I really think this is the only way I'm going to die in this series. By being irresponsible. I mean, how should I have known I placed the bucket behind me? I thought there's a mod or something that just lets me place lava in the furnace without having to open the interface. My word. I know a starter home wouldn't have saved me in this situation, but I think I really need to start paying attention, and the next thing we are going to do is build the starter home. But let me spend the rest of this day collecting a few more items, and I will see you early in the morning. Then we will figure out how we're going to build this. Hello, Eugene. Why did you lose your job? Yeah, let me go and do a few more little things. I'll see you in the morning. Now don't get me wrong, the tavern is a nice place to sleep, but we need to build a place that we can call home. Our own little starter house. So that's what we're going to get up to today. We're going to build our starter house, and we have already cleared up the space for it. But wait a moment. We need to deal with this witch first. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. We can just rush the witch and kill her before she can hit us with one of her potions. And then we can start. Now right over here, where we've cleared up the space, we will be building our starter home. This is going to be in the form of a time-lapse, but while we run the time-lapse, I want to explain a little bit more about the rules for this series and what we are planning to do further along. Now let's get going. while we start constructing the frame of our house with spruce logs, let me tell you a little bit of what you can expect through this series. We will go on loads and loads of exploration expeditions, uncovering the secrets of countless new structures, from towering castles to hidden ruins. Our goal is to document and preserve these wonders, making sure they stand the test of time. We are not only all about exploration though, we're master builders too. Watch as we transform ancient ruins into stunning masterpieces and construct a massive museum to showcase the history and the treasures that we discover. In this grand museum, we will chronicle our journey. Every artifact, every rare item, carefully displayed to tell the story of our adventures. We will also be taking on restoration projects, where ruined structures are not abandoned on our watch. We'll meticulously restore them, breathing new life into the forgotten corners of this world. To achieve my goals for this series, I have set a few base rules that I'm going to try my best to live by. First off, we look at the crafting table code of honor. Crafting tables are sacred. I will never break one. They can only be crafted if used as a component in another crafting recipe, and I cannot place a crafting table in this world. So what that means is that we can only use crafting tables for crafting where the crafting table has been naturally generated in this world. I will have to make critical choices, where each structure that we encounter faces a pivotal decision. Will it be preserved or dismantled? Preservation allows for thoughtful enchantments, while destruction means completely erasing the structure from the landscape. Items from structures are off limits unless they are storage, loot, or the structure is designated for destruction. Decorative pots may be broken for loot but must be replaced if possible. And finally, absolutely no branch mining. To maintain the world's natural beauty, we will refrain from branch mining. You are more than welcome to join me as I set out to conquer the Better Minecraft modpack, turning every discovery into a tale worth telling. Should you be interested in this series, please remember to subscribe. That way you will be staying up to date with new videos that gets posted. Now I will leave you to enjoy the rest of this time lapse, and I will catch you on the other side. there you have it. We have a place to call home. Our own little starter house. What do you think? How does it look? Let me show you. It's not the prettiest house around, and we are going to need to decorate it once we find some blocks to decorate it with, but it will do for now. We've got storage, we've got a place to sleep. However, we must still find a bed. As per the rules, I can't steal one from the tavern, but that will come soon enough. Would you like a tour of this house? So, let me show you. Enjoy the tour. Here you go. Thank you for joining me for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, leave a like or comment and let me know what else you want to see. If you would like to stay up to date with more episodes like this, please remember to subscribe to the channel. May your pickaxes forever be sharp. I will see you next time. Hello blocky builders, and welcome back to the Better Minecraft mod pack. Today we have a plan for however much that is worth, because plans tend to get side railed on a mod pack like this. But I have gone and made a few axes, checked on the seeds that we've got, and we've also found this really good hoe. Now to the north we are going to start clearing away these trees so that we can get started on planting some of these crops. We really need to get the food situation sorted. If we have time at the end of the episode, we might even start breeding villagers, because somebody will need to tend these crops. I also got some chests together so that we can store all the loot we get from clearing this area. Shouldn't really call it loot, it's just items, mostly wood and logs, but whatever, let's get into it. First off, we'll clear this logs that's lying here. I know I don't want to change the look of the structures that we found, but I guess this is outside of the structure and we need access to the area that we're clearing out. So let's get going and chop down a few trees. Now, chopping trees in Minecraft can be a laborious task, but thanks to the falling tree mod that's included in this mod pack, link in the description, cutting trees is a breeze. You only cut the first log and the rest of the tree will fall, as long as your axe has got the durability to take down the whole tree. As we continued cutting trees, eventually we came upon a beehive, which adds another interesting dimension to this mod pack. When you throw an ender pearl into a beehive, you get transmitted to the bumble zone, which is a honey, sticky, messy dimension in this mod pack. But we will get to that later. For now, we need to focus. And besides, I don't have any ender pearls. With more tree cutting, the day eventually started to end. And before going to bed, we found a pretty little well situated on an isolated island. When we turned around from the well, we noticed a spider crypt, which is definitely too dangerous. Early the next morning, we got a visit from a wandering lead salesman. However, when I checked what he's got on offer, it wasn't much of interest to me, and I decided to only take the leads that he was giving away for free. I went ahead and made more axes because wood chopping was chopping down my axes, and we continued stripping the wood. As the day progressed, we chopped down more trees and even more trees, until eventually we made a discovery. Down on the ground we found a bunker. Really nice looking, but the things I was looking at most was the chest and the barrel, because there had to be some loot in there. We proceeded looking around, making sure nobody's home, and then we started looking in the barrel. We found cookies and carrots and some cooked cod, which would mean that we are set for food for even longer. The barrel emptied out, we had a look in the chest that stood on a lodestone, and in here we found wonderful items. We found iron boots and a bottle of enchanting. Wow, this was really worth it. We will still decide whether we preserve this structure or destroy it, and I'm at the moment leaning towards we might have to destroy it, because it's underground, but there's a hill over it, and the hill might be in the way from our farming operations. When we finished looting the containers in this bunker, nighttime was getting close, and we decided to sleep in the bunker. I mean, why not? The next day it was raining, but I wasn't going to let that stop me. I put on my iron boots and I finished chopping down the trees and cleared out a decent-sized area for us to use. However, just as I was about to chop the last tree, my axe broke and I decided to just let it be. I wanted to move Eugene closer to Richard so that we can start maybe breeding villagers, because we're going to have to get villagers to tend the crops. So I broke his bed and allowed him to move to a different room in the tavern, where I blocked him in so that he can't escape. And thus, day 29 comes to an end. We started day 30 by moving the resources we found during deforestation into storage. We then picked up our seeds from storage and our hoe before proceeding to renovate the tavern and turning the single rooms into one big family room. We came back to the villagers to give them some food. I gave them almost all my bread. And then they still didn't appreciate it, because the bread was lying there on the floor just rotating and rotating and rotating, and neither of the villagers seemed interested in it. Until I broke into the room. Then they were all running trying to get to the door. But I was quick enough to lock them in. I proceeded to give them fish as well, to see if I could get them to breed and have a baby. It took a lot of patience and a lot of staring. Maybe they got shy because I was looking at them all the time, but I had to see that they do the right thing, and eventually they loved each other. And after a little while of more staring and not giving them their privacy, because I am like that, I had to look and see that they are successful. And eventually it looked like a baby was born. Catherine would be her name. Just look at these two proud parents. So since this is now working, I managed to breed the villagers. I can now continue, because now, as long as I've got the food to feed them, I know we can make villagers. No! What's that? Oh my word, that creeper almost blew up right in the door. I don't want to fix creeper damage again, so let's just deal with this creeper. Oh my word, they do tend to scare you quite good. I have to get the farming setup done, but I want to start going underground sometime soon, and for that the stone sword just wouldn't cut it. I think let's get the iron smelted so that we can make an iron sword, and we will then in the near future go underground. I think I'm not really geared up for the spider crypt that we found, but we are going to try it and see if we can get some resources. But first things first, let's make the iron sword and then go ahead and sort out our crop fields. I've got quite a few seeds and I'm going to try and plant them all. The Better Minecraft mod pack contains loads of furniture mods as well, So let's see if we can jazz up the inside of the tavern a little bit. We'll make a few tables, maybe a stool or two, and some chairs, I think, will be the order of the day. Now let's see about replacing this boring stairs. So first off, I just want to fix the floor. The stone with the oak doesn't work for me. Then I think we can put the two stools right here in front of the counter, just like that. That's looking better already. Let's take away these as well. Fix the stone in the floor. How about we put a table right here in the middle of the floor and take away this makeshift seating area, place another table over there, and then let's see about getting some chairs. Another chair this side. Let's place a chair in the corner here and another one so that we've got seating. Now these chairs do place a little bit difficult, but let's go in here in this little corner. There you go. And I think this tavern is looking a lot better with the tables and chairs. So now I want to thank all of you for joining me on this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please remember to leave a like. You want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any new uploads. It has been fun, but next time we will go and explore a little bit underground. Thank you for watching. May your pickaxes forever be sharp, and I will see you next time. Hello Blocky Adventurers, and welcome back to the Better Minecraft Survival series. Today, as promised, we are going to risk a little bit. And what we will do is we're going to go inspect this spider crypt down here. I'm scared, but I'm excited. Maybe we can find some good loot. And maybe not. But let's have a look. Firstly, we can collect some of these strings. String is useful. We can make bows with it. We can make fishing rods with it. We can do plenty of other things with it. We can even combine it to make wool, if I remember correctly. So let's see what is down here in the spider crypt. There's a few spiders looking at us. But let's... Oh my word, no, no, no! This is cave spiders. I thought it would be normal spiders. Oh my word, this is not going to be fun. But let's have a go at it and see. Keep spawning. I'm sure there must be a spawner down there somewhere, but I can't really see, and I don't want to open too much more because that will allow the spiders to come through, and that wouldn't be safe. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. No, no, no. I think this was a bad idea. No. No, let's get him. Oh, no, no, no! No, how could I? This was a very bad idea. Oh, no, man. No, 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 I really, oh, no man. let's just get our... Fortunately, we've got this gravestone mod in here, so we can get all our items back. I know it might seem a little bit cheaty, but it's part of the mod pack, and I am very, very appreciative of that. But I think let's get out of here for now. We'll come back here sometime soon, but I need to rethink this. I don't know what I was thinking, taking on that crypt with no armor, only my iron boots. Really, really not a very smart idea, if I have to admit it myself. But anybody that knows anything about fishing will know that a day or two of fishing will just brighten everything up. So let's go. I'm feeling much better now, thank you very much. Just have a look at all this loot that I got from fishing. Whole variety of different fish and this birch crate. To open that up to see what's inside, break with an axe to open. Also got a bottle of water and a tripwire hook and this unbreaking 3 bow. Wonderful. But the point of the exercise was to make me feel better, and that was successful. Now, let's see if we can open this crate and see what goodies is inside. Where's my axe? Let me get the axe, and boom! What? Pair of boots? Only a pair of iron boots, the one piece of armor that I've already got, and that is what's in the crate. That is sort of disappointing, but let me go and put away all this loot and see what we can do next. I went ahead and cooked some fish, collected the fish, and ate some fish before going ahead to make a hoe so that we can harvest some of the crops that's already started growing. The wheat has been growing very nicely. As you can see, we've got plenty of it ready to harvest. Carrots have also been coming along, as well as the potatoes. Beetroot also, even though beetroot isn't as useful, and we got some onions and tomatoes. So after harvesting, I went ahead to plant some more crops. And at the end of the day, I went to cook some potatoes, as I think baked potatoes is probably the best food we've got access to right at this moment. I put 8 in each furnace with 1 piece of coal, and then I fought a creeper early in the next morning. I went back to collect the cooked potatoes, and here we are, ready to take on the crypt again. I believe we are better suited now, since I did place a torch. Hopefully if there's a spawner, the spiders would have stopped spawning by now. The light level being a little bit better, I think. So let's go in there and see if we can figure this out and survive this time. So let's have a little look-see down here. So the nest seems clear. I don't see any spiders at the moment. If nothing else, I guess we would come away from this with a lot of wool and a lot of string. But let's see if we can find the spawner. And there you go. I knew there must have been a spawner in here. But now that we've located the spawner, let me go back down and see if we can clear up this area. So if we break back in here where we died the last time, let's see if we can get down without meeting any more spiders. I think now that we have lit up this area, this is going to be very easy. I think we can collect a lot of string here, but let's try and explore first and see where all these little side hallways are going. Without all the spiders, this doesn't feel scary at all, and I'm able to collect a lot of string and a lot of wool. And we are getting wool without having to kill any sheep. How awesome is that? I soon got bored of collecting string and wool and decided to have a look at what this passage to the left might have to offer. Loads of cobwebs which I had to break because getting stuck in cobwebs can just be very annoying. I collected a piece of gravel along the way, and this seems to run into a dead end. I dug out a little bit of the cobble to see if there's anything further along, but the answer was negative, and I returned to the main cavern. Then we took this passageway on the other side. I broke more string and made sure the way out is going to be easy if I need to run, lighting it up all the way as I went. And this one also seemed to run into a dead end until I broke some of the cobblestone and I saw there's another cavern in there with spiders. At least these weren't cave spiders and they were easy to deal with. By this time I imagined that it must be getting dark outside already, and I wanted to return to the tavern so that I can make either a bed or a sleeping bag. And when we got to the top, I saw the most amazing night sky. With yellows and pinks in the sky, it just blew my breath away. And on the way back to the tavern, I met up with some fireflies, brightening up the surrounding areas. But it was time to get running back to the tavern. I needed to sleep. And early in the next morning, I made a sleeping bag. Now we wouldn't need to run back to the tavern all the time to sleep. We would just be able to drop down and sleep wherever we are. By making the sleeping bag, we completed a quest in the quest book. And when I checked what we got as a reward, we found some leather. I placed a chest or two outside the crypt so that we could keep track of all the loot that we get from exploring this crypt. And then I decided to return to the passage that we lit up the previous night. I started breaking the wool and found another spawner, this one being a normal spider spawner, and I thought maybe we can leave it here and we can maybe do something with it later on. But I'm going to collect all the wool. Wool is going to be a useful resource for us at this point of the game, especially if we're trying to not kill any sheep. While we don't have iron to make shears yet, we can't shear the sheep, so the only other way to get wool would be to kill the sheep, and I wasn't up to that for now. I returned back to the main cavern so that we can explore deeper into the depths of this crypt. I broke down into this dark hallway and cautiously proceeded, because I didn't want to get surprised by any more spiders, and with all the cobwebs around, I was sure more spiders would be lurking somewhere in the dark corners. And there you have it, there's more spiders. Now I need to find a way to get down there, which I would assume to be the main part of the crypt. I cautiously started digging around, trying to find the top of this spider nest. I've learned my lesson before, and I'm not going to be playing around with these spiders this time. I'm going to try and find the top of the nest and then find the spawner that way. Maybe that will help us to eliminate the spiders. And just as I dug out another block of andesite, I found what looked like to be the top of the spider nest. I immediately placed the torch to try lighting it up and started breaking down the wool. 3 blocks in, and I still haven't found a spawner. But I had to get down there. So I got my dirt and started building a stairway down on top of the nest. Looking around and keeping an eye out for any spiders that might be coming my way. I can see them moving around down there. I cautiously dug down a little bit further. I cleared out more cobwebs so that I can get down onto the nest without getting tangled up, and I saw what looks like entrance to a mine shaft. That's going to be an interesting exploration for the near future, but we have to deal with this spider nest first. So I believe that we have enough light covering the spawner now, because I'm pretty sure there is another spawner in there, so that I could start cautiously digging a way down into the crypt, so that we can see if we can find the spawner from the bottom. But I have to be careful and keep an eye out for any spiders, because I don't want to get surprised and lose a life again. Carefully digging down, eventually we did have a spider come up to us and poison us. Another one came, and after dealing with him, we had a piece of fish and waited out the poison effect before going on. I finally got down low enough and found a few spiders stuck in the roof, which wouldn't have been too difficult to deal with. So I decided to just go and relieve them of their pain and suffering before they could give me any pain and suffering. Fortunately, they were stuck so deep they couldn't get to me, and I was easily able to deal with them. Next, we had a closer look at this mine shaft. It's really intriguing, and I was really curious to go and check it out, but I decided to just hang on. We will get to it, but I need to finish with the spider crypt first. Digging further down this passage, we found another spawner that was taken care of for us by the lava flowing over it. I then headed back up to the surface to notice that it is night time, and after having dinner with a piece of fish, I used my sleeping bag to sleep through the night. The next morning I collected some coal to make a few torches and continued exploring the spider crypt. Eventually I came up on another cavern with another spider nest, which I quickly lit up to make sure that no spiders are going to spawn. As we've gotten used to, there's usually a spawner inside these nests. When I started breaking down this nest, we quickly discovered that there is no spawner, but well, a chest. The loot inside the chest wasn't very exciting, but at least we got something for our hard work. Plenty of potions and an enchanted book, and some melon seeds, which would come in handy. We have cleared the crypt and it was time to make our way back out. On our way back, we discovered and collected a few resources. Firstly, there was a few pieces of iron that I could collect, and then we also found some copper, and we broke the spawners and got spawn fragments. Finally, we also found quite a bit of coal. This was really a nice and solid vein. And so we have survived the spider crypt. That got us in the beginning, but eventually turned out to not be too bad. And we got quite a bit of loot, a lot of string, some coal and copper, as well as a few splash potions and some melon seeds. I went ahead to smelt the iron that we found and finally slept in our house for the first time. Now, while on the next morning I came back with some furniture to put in the house, I want to thank you for watching this episode, for joining me in this adventure while we took on the spider crypt. I want to ask you that if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, and remember to subscribe to this channel if you would like to be kept up to date with new videos being uploaded. May your pickaxes forever be sharp, and happy days until we meet again. Hello blocky farmers, and welcome back to the Better Minecraft Survival series. In today's episode we are going to start working on a food farm, a better one than this. But first things first, we meet up with the Enderman, and I'm sure I didn't look at it, but it's chasing me. Leave me alone. Come on, run. No! How's that possible? I'm sure I didn't look at that Enderman. What I was trying to say before I got distracted was that we are going to use this area that we have cleared out to start a farming community. So join me. Let's get going. But first, Grey Wolf has been running around my area defending us from skeletons. So let's make friends. Best friends forever. What's your name, little guy? Do we have to name you? I'll think of a good name. Once we get name tags, I am sure somebody would have come up with a good name. Any of you out there can think of something good? Leave it in the comments and we'll see if we can pick a name for our new friend. But for now, I think our friend can just sit here and guard the tavern, while we go about and clearing up some space and preparing the grounds for a few small farmers' houses and some crop fields. So we are ready to start with the first farm. As you can see, I brought all the items that I think I am going to need, and we will begin by fencing in the area I want to use. Now, these are going to be small little farms. Each will have a villager and crops for that villager to farm. We start off with a oak fence for this one. We will vary it up between the 4 houses I'm going to build, but we start off with oak fences for this one. I think 9 by 9 will be a good size, and to do that it seems I'm going to have to clear up a little more space. Now I want to keep the terrain as naturally generated as possible, but wherever we really need to, I am going to just terraform a tiny little bit. Now this is looking to be a good size. We can get a fence gate in over here so that we do have access to the farm, and then we can finish building the fence around. Now the farmhouse I want to offset a little bit into the farm itself, so we're not going to use the complete 9 by 9 for crops. We are going to leave a little space for the villager to move around, and then the house will be, like I said, offset a little bit. We'll start with oak pillars for the corners, and if I think maybe a 5 by 3 for this house. Really tiny, really simple, but it's going to serve the purpose very well. Now, since fences inside the house isn't very practical, I will be removing a few of the ones that I have placed, and then we can start with the base layer of the walls of the house, which I will use cobblestone for. I think the combination of cobblestone, oak planks and oak logs fits in well with the aesthetic of the tavern that we already have in the area. And for safety and privacy, I think oak doors will be very good. Now, I don't want it on the outside. I want to maybe just turn around, put it on the inside, so that we can have a nice little entranceway right by the door. Now we can go ahead and fill up the corners with oak logs. I think a total height of 4 blocks is going to be perfect for this little home. Now we can start filling in the walls. I think on the long sides we will use oak logs and cobblestone, and on the shorter sides we will use oak planks to cover the walls. As the sun sets and darkness becomes our friend, I think the time has come to go and have a nap, since we don't want any of the unpleasant night creatures to bother us. During the night I had a dream, but I will tell you shortly. Let's just see what Teddy is up to. Hello, Teddy. Came into the tavern for breakfast? What have you got to trade? An atlas? Yo, if only I had some emeralds. Don't know what it does, but it looks interesting. Slime balls? Also interesting. Well, Teddy, enjoy your day. Morning, friend. How are you today? Seen any skeletons? Not? Well, keep watching. Get back to the dream I had, which was actually more of a nightmare than just a dream. Can you imagine building all these farms and not having any villagers to occupy them and work the fields? That would be disastrous. So I decided to build a little extension to the tavern where we can have a holding area for villagers. Just a simple extension, a few blocks wide and deep, where we can place a bed and have villagers ready to occupy these farms. So here we can add an entranceway and just block it off with a fence gate, I think. And we can place a bed. Hello Catherine, Frederick, Eugene. How are you doing? Ready to work? I'm making a plan for that. You'll be able to work soon enough. We quickly just get a bed in this little outside area. So now we've got space for another villager. And we are going to need farmers soon. Guys, here's some food. I hope to see a new baby soon. I'll see you tomorrow. So let me get back to work on the farm. Want to get some water, turn the grass into farmland, and finish the walls on this house. On the morning of day 48, we started off by finishing the floor with cobblestone bricks. After that, we placed some window panes or glass panes into the windows and also finished off the ceiling with oak wood. That evening, when we returned to the tavern to have a sleep, we peeked into the window to check up on the villagers and saw that a new baby villager has been born. Now we had to wake up Eugene to move him to the holding area, because Eugene was going to be our first farmer. The easiest way was to break his bed and move his bed into the holding area. Then we waked up Noreen, just to see what her name is. Eugene is having a peaceful sleep because he knows tomorrow he's going to start working on his farm. Now, before we can move Eugene to his new house, we have some preparations to do. First of all, we need to make him a bed, because otherwise he will never stay on his farm. A good idea would also be to make a boat so we can easily transfer Eugene to his farm. And then we need to make a job block for him. And as a farmer, that will have to be a composter. Definitely not a feeding trough. It needs to be a composter. So let's go and install these in his new house. Now, since we are transferring Eugene in a boat, I think it's just going to be easier if we open the fence up. We can place the composter right here next to the door, and then inside we'll just place a bed. For now we don't have the resources to decorate his house, but at least he can sleep in peace. Let's see if Eugene is ready to come to work. Hi Eugene, how are you today? Ready to work? Oh, I see you're very eager. So let's go. You will be a wheat farmer. And I hope we can get you to trade us wheat as well. It would be so nice if we can use your own wheat to trade with you for emeralds. So what do you want to trade? Emeralds for bread? Asparagus for emeralds? No, Eugene, you don't understand. You're a wheat farmer. You need to have a wheat trade. Carrots and asparagus? Not good enough. Let's try again. How about now? What have you got? Oh my, whatever that is, it's not wheat. How about now? Still not wheat? But you've got corn? Let's try again. Bread and avocados? No, Eugene, you don't understand. You need to trade wheat. You're a wheat farmer. Ah, there you go. Wheat and carrots. I can live with that. Let me see if I can find some carrots to lock your trades. I'll be right back. Oh, Eugene. Hello, I'm back. And guess what I've got for you? Yes, I'm carrots. Oh, you're a good trader. At least you're giving me a 1 carrot discount on emeralds. So I think 3 emeralds for now is good. Thanks for doing business with me. It's been a pleasure. I'll be back soon with more carrots. Enjoy your day. And don't worry, you'll have more farmer friends soon. I just need to build the farms first. Now I have to do it 3 more times. Carrots, potatoes, and beetroot. But I'll get started tomorrow. Let me harvest the available crops first, and then we will start building the other 3 farms. Three more farms. Here we go. Wow, that was a lot of work. Don't you think so, friend? Yes, I wonder if somebody has thought of a name for you yet. We'll check the comments after this episode to see. I hope they just leave a comment, like the video, and maybe subscribe. I'm not going to force them, but you can hope. Let me show them our villagers. We've got Eugene here, who's our main wheat farmer, but he also does carrots. Then we also have Rosalind here, who's carrots and tomatoes. We are still trying to level her up. Let's see. Then over here, it's night time, so they're going to sleep now. But over here we've got Alec, who's the main potato trader, but he's also got beetroot and cabbage as well that we can trade with him. And then we have our beetroot farmer, Noreen. She has beetroot, she gives eggplants for emeralds, she's got cabbage and rice as well. So this is the end of the day. I would like to thank you for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. And if you did, remember to leave a like. Leave a comment with a name for our friend. And subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date with new videos being uploaded. And yeah, you should have a lovely day. May your pickaxes forever be sharp. I will see you next time. So, in today's episode of the Minecraft Survival series, we are going to check out that mine that we found in a previous episode. I started off by preparing and making myself an iron pickaxe and a shield, which will be very handy. Let's go and see what's in the mine. When we got to what would be our entrance to the mine, this little green creature was running around down there. He didn't sound very dangerous, but he kept running away from me. I was a little bit scared to go in there, but eventually he didn't seem to be wanting to cause me any harm, and I went into the mine. But he soon disappeared, and I ventured further into the mine until I found the spider. Now, I don't like spiders very much, but this one wasn't too much trouble dealing with, even though he did get to me a few times. And after killing him, I had to have a little bite to eat, just to heal up my health. Once my health healed up sufficiently, I took out my torches and continued on into the cave. Eventually, a skeleton started shooting at us, but that wasn't the big danger. There was a creeper coming at us. Fortunately, my shield blocked most of the explosion, but my health was low. I had to hightail it out of there to a safe space where we could just have a bite to eat and recuperate. But first I wanted to block off the mine just so that I don't get bothered by the nasties that keep spawning there. I had a light meal and went to bed, deciding that the next day will be soon enough to go back into the mine. The next morning, after a very nice nap, I ventured back into the mine, running along, deciding that this skeleton will have to be dealt with. Fortunately, having the shield with me, I could block all his arrows and he was no problem to take out at all. Continuing on, I thought it a good idea that while lighting up the mine, I should maybe just block off all these side passages that creepies could be coming out of. Looking into this one, it seemed that the mine stretches on quite a bit, and I didn't want to take a risk with any nasty creatures coming out of there while I'm exploring this shaft. Continuing on, I was amazed at all the plants and vines growing in this mine. This would be a good source for vines if we would like to make some mossy cobblestone. Another spider came across our way, and this one got stuck in his own webs. But eventually he got loose and I had to deal with him. Unfortunately, spiders and me, we are not friends. I continued lighting up the mine and eventually got to a point that looked like we are reaching the end of this main shaft. Coming to the end, I noticed a minecart with TNT. This could be a dangerous situation, because if that one explodes and I'm close by, I might not survive. Coming back to the beginning of the mine, I started looting the chests, and the first one had quite a bit of rails and some lapis and a few ropes. The ropes might be interesting, we'll have to check out what they do later on. The second chest had an amazing discovery, a silk touch book. It also had more rails and lapis and also some glowberries and rope. I took it all. At this point my inventory was starting to get quite full, but I couldn't resist. I had to check what's in these clay pots. The first one I broke only had some ash in there, but the last one had a few slime balls. I didn't expect that this early in the game. Usually I struggle finding slime, but this was a gift, and I was not going to let it lie on the floor forever. I picked it up and returned back to our safe space to drop off the loot that we have found. I placed some chests, dropped off the loot, and then returned back into the mine to collect the resources that I could see in the walls and the floors of the mine. There wasn't too many resources, but I had a few pieces of iron, and I thought it's a good idea to start smelting them up. I really need to start working and getting some armor going. Now I also found this icicles that I just broke one to check what I can do with it, and it didn't look interesting. However, the icicle bars, I will maybe try that out at some point. I collected a few more pieces of iron Just so that we don't waste any coal, I'll put another piece into the furnace to smelt a total of 16, which will use 2 pieces of coal only. And then this second day in the mine was done, and I thought it's a good time to have a nap again. After sleeping the night away, I started to explore the tunnels in the mine. And I found this guy. Oh, and he's so cute. The rascal, but when I tried to interact with him, he disappeared and I continued deeper into the tunnel. I met up with the dead end, and as I turned around, I could hear the rascal again. But when I turned around to look at him, he disappeared yet again, and I was puzzled. But I continued to start mining the resources that I could see. He appeared again, and this time he gave me a bundle. That was strange. And inside the bundle, I found 13 iron ore. Now that is interesting, and I was excited. But since the rascal was nowhere to be seen, I continued mining the resources that I could see in the tunnel surrounding me. The next tunnel I explored seemed a little more dangerous, as I was immediately met by a cave spider. Fortunately, he got stuck behind a fence and I could easily deal with him. When I turned the corner, I noticed a lot of cobwebs and I could hear a load more spiders. So I started dealing with the cobwebs, breaking them down, as I knew there should be a spawner inside all of these cobwebs. Going a little deeper in, I heard more spiders and another one came at me. I dealt with this one, but he got a hit in or two, and after killing it, I have lost a little bit of health and had to eat to replenish myself. I was feeling a little better and went right back at it. I almost got killed by that last spider and decided to take a break from dealing with the spiders and recuperate my health. And then I came across the rascal again. Now that I sort of knew his deal, I started to play his game while eating and recuperating my health. I now knew that he likes playing hide and seek, and after finding him 2 or 3 times or so, he will give me a reward. And I was looking for more iron ore and maybe something else. I'm not sure what else I can get from him, but I thought it was worth a try while recuperating my health. I found him again, and he disappeared again, not giving me anything. But I was on to him, and I was sure that next time I found him, he would give me something good. I heard him appear again and went back deeper into the mine to see if I can find him. I heard him, I found him, and he took out another bundle for me. When I checked, this one had 14 pieces of iron ore, and I was feeling better. As I headed back to where my chests off to drop off my loot, I kept hearing him appear, and as I turned around, I spotted him again. So I'm thinking to myself, it's not going to hurt to play his game one more time. So I went to say hi, he disappeared again, and I went back looking for him. He made it really easy to find him, as the noises he made led you directly to him. I spotted him again in the distance and ran over. Hello, my mate. How are you? Disappearing again? I knew I must be getting close to getting another reward from him though. And I continued looking. This time he appeared again, a little bit away from me. And when I met him, he gave me another bundle, this time containing 6 gold ore. Now I was getting tired of this game and went to drop off my items. I figured that if I were to empty out these bundles, I should have quite a bit of iron ore available to me. And I continued to do so, emptying the first one and the second one, and then I decided to just take the gold ore out as well. Even though I don't need any gold right now, I thought, let's just empty it so we could keep track of all the ores that we collect. I started placing all the iron ore so that I could mine it, and in the process got quite a bit of raw iron. I continued down to the furnace to smelt some more of the raw iron that I had. I went up and decided to get rid of this spider spawner. I don't need more spiders in my life. I continued exploring the mines and eventually came onto this minecart with a chest. After checking the caves, I came back to the minecart with the chest and opened the chest and found some very decent loot. A golden apple and a few gold ingots, together with wheat, rope, rails, and a few pieces of coal. By this time, my iron sword was getting onto its last legs, and I decided to pick up the iron from the furnace and returned up to the surface to check up on our villagers, and also to make some iron armor. When I got to the surface, it was the end of the day. The sun has already started to set. I quickly ran over to one of the farms to make sure that our villagers are okay, but lazy like they are, they were already on their way to bed. The sun isn't even down yet, and they are going to bed, which is probably okay. They get up early to do the farm work. Hello friend, how are you? Do you think anybody has subscribed to this channel yet? Maybe left a like? I don't know, we're going to have to see. But don't worry, keep guarding. I went back into the tavern and immediately opened the crafting table to craft a new sword or two and a full set of iron armor. We have made some good progress, but for now I'm going to sleep comfortably in the bed in this tavern. The next morning, first off I made some shears. They could come in handy. Good morning friend, how have you been during this night? I've got a surprise I want to show you. Yes, I think you will love it. Just hold on, I'll show you. But don't look, Bada bing! Nice and shiny, don't you think? Hopefully this will help. I continued by collecting some food. Potatoes it was going to be, as I've got a furnace to cook them. And I continued to raid the mine, picking up resources. I also collected some of the vines, because who doesn't need vines, and they're growing all over the place. We found a chest during our exploration, and this one had a few nice goodies, some redstone and rope and a golden apple. That was going to be really handy going forward. Continuing through the mine, I found another spider nest, and this time I felt more confident in dealing with the spiders, since I had a full suit of iron armor. I knew I couldn't be too comfortable, but at least it offered some protection. We continued on and found another chest, and oh boy, this one had me excited. I don't know what this blue bomb is, but the 2 diamonds I know definitely very well what I can do with. I also found a name tag in this chest, so we could finally name our friend. Further along we found a very helpful creeper, as he helped us to deal with a few spiders along the way. Eventually another spider nest was discovered, and these spiders almost got me. I barely got away with half a heart worth of life, and I needed to run away. Eventually we found another chest with a few goodies, but nothing too good. Another name tag will always come in handy. We continued to find more creepers down in the mine, and this one blew up in the water, so it didn't do any damage to anything. We also fell down a deep hole and found this amazing looking lush cave. But as my food was getting low again, I didn't stay to check it out. We know where it is, we can always come back later. I continued out of the hole and killed a crayfish. It gave me some food, but nothing too good. I mean, I could cook the crayfish to get cooked crayfish, but I couldn't do anything else with it. Oh well, I finished the day by playing the Rascal's game again to see what he would give me this time. As per usual, the 3rd time that I found him, he handed over a bundle, and this time we got an iron pickaxe in the bundle. It was getting late in the day, and I thought, I've done enough exploring of this mine for now. We got some pretty good loot, but I want to start with a new project. I want to really thank you for joining me on this adventure, and I take it that if you got this far in the episode, you did like it, so please leave a like. And if you would like to stay up to date with new content, please follow me, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. May your pickaxes forever be sharp, and you should have a good day. Hello Blocky Adventurers, and welcome back to the Better Minecraft Survival series. When I was planning this episode, I had something totally different in mind, but I realized we haven't done a lot of exploring in this series. So I got prepared, made a few tools, and we are going to explore the world today. We haven't done a lot of exploring so far in this series, but today we will take it further and see if we can find a few interesting structures. But before leaving on our exploration expedition, I wanted to trade with our villager first. So Rosalind gave us quite a few trades. I used up all my emeralds. And eventually we got Rosalind leveled up quite far. Not maximum yet, but this will do for now. I also had a nice little playing session with our friend, the Dark Wolf. We finally came to a decision on what we would name our friend. Thank you to one of my subscribers for suggesting the name. We went with Shaky Bone. Yeah, our friend has been named. Shaky Bone it will be, and forever be playful and protect our base. Now it was time to sleep. Tomorrow we will explore. The next morning I was eager to start exploring, but I came across a creeper. Now, since he didn't creep up on me, he wasn't much of a danger, but he did blow a massive crater in our fields next to the tavern. I started exploring and came across a snail who seemed to be very scared of me because he crawled into his shell as soon as I got near. And then, just as I turned my back, he came back out. We saw a lot of deer running around in the forest, but they were running really quickly. And they didn't seem to be friendly towards me. More scared, I think is the right word. But I continued running through the forest, amazed at all the beauty surrounding me, and I saw another deer, and I thought, let's walk up to it slowly, not scare it. But it must have smelt me in the wind, because as I got closer, it suddenly ran off very erratically. I continued up to the river and found a few birdies playing in the water. While listening to their song, I was amazed at the surroundings and stared into the river, across the river, and wondering what else was I going to find. Hello birdies, I love your song. Please continue singing it. See ya. I continued on and I noticed that there's a lot of bridges generating in this world. But this little wooden one wasn't much to look at, so I just ran past. Not very far further, I came across this amazing looking bridge. Solid and sturdy, made of cobblestone. It really looked that it belongs across the river. I took the opportunity to go up into the bridge and find a higher vantage point so that I can look at the surroundings. And to the left I noticed bamboo growing, and that was certainly one of the items that I needed to collect, as it's very useful. I continued on across the river and finally found a small little structure hidden between some mushrooms. Now when I got closer to this structure, I noticed a spawner hanging in it. Now I wasn't going to break any of these spawners because, as you know, my motto is to preserve the surroundings. And besides, this spawner could come in handy one day if I could remember where it is, because this one looks like it's a zombie villager spawner. This could be really handy in the future. I finally made it to where the bamboo is growing and was amazed at the cotton sakura grove biome. I collected a few pieces of sugarcane because I don't think I've got a lot down at the base. I continued on towards the bamboo, but just had to stop and take in the sights. This is such a beautiful biome with the leaf particles floating around. As I ran past the bamboo, I chopped down one of the stalks and collected it. I didn't need much because bamboo grows really quickly and it's really easy to farm. Continuing along, I saw quite a few foxes in this biome as well. The sun was starting to set and I needed to find a place to lie down and have a nap. But when I looked to my right, I noticed another item that I haven't collected yet. There were pumpkins, almost as orange as the foxes. I had to collect a few, and as I did, night came and it started raining. So I needed to find a place to sleep. And I looked around and saw a well with a few lanterns, and I thought having light around would be safest for me to sleep. I went to the well, placed down my sleeping bag, and had a nap. I got woken up by an ant. Really? Anyway, let's get on with it. I decided to collect a few saplings, as the point of the exercise of coming to explore was to find structures, but there doesn't seem to be any structures close by. However, I did find this bear, which looked really cute, but I didn't want to risk going close to it. It might just attack me. I'm not sure. You can let me know. Are they hostile? You never know. These foxes seem to like the bear. Further along, I decided to kill some of these boars because they do give leather and pork chops, and leather was an important resource that I needed to start collecting. There are backpacks in this mod pack, and I really want to start getting a backpack going. Using bundles to carry things just isn't on. I went to the dark oak forest to chop down a dark oak tree so that we can collect those saplings as well. This one gave me quite a bit of wood and also a few saplings. Running along back towards where we found the zombie villager spawner, because I wanted to explore in that direction, I decided to chop down these two trees next to the spawner as well. And then my axe broke. And now you can see that when your axe breaks, it leaves a odd-shaped tree hanging in the air. But I took my other axe and started chopping down the tree, using some manual labor and getting some exercise early in the morning. This just made me remember why I do like the falling tree mod that is included in this mod pack. The next tree played along and the axe took the whole tree with one log. That was awesome, and it dropped quite a few extra saplings for my collection. I found more of these boars and I decided to just take them out. Now the thing with them is the first hit, they are really waiting for you to eat them. After the first hit, they try to attack you, and then they run away, and they do run really fast, and I had to chase this one for quite a bit before I was able to take it down. Kept running and running, leading me over rough terrain, and I was scared that maybe it's going to lead me into a deep dark hole, but eventually I caught up with it. Or I thought I did. And then it ran further towards the river, and finally I got the death stroke in. Along the travels I came to this little encampment, which had a few villagers caged up. the villages was protected or kept hostage by pillagers. And this one, I had my shield and it was no match for me. I quickly took it out because I knew they must be protecting something. The two villagers in the cages will have to stay patiently in their cages for a little while longer. I might come back at some point to get them. But first, I had to look in this chest. And what a treasure trove of items! Gold, iron, arrows and emeralds. This was such a good haul. But before I could take any of it, I had to clean out my inventory, and this is exactly what I'm saying, why I do need to get some leather for a backpack. The bundles are nice and all, but they don't work as well as a backpack. But I continued stacking all my loose items into the bundles just to clear out a little bit of inventory space. Next up, I thought I could take all their hay bales. I did get rid of the pillagers, so they're not going to need it, and the villagers are caged up. They won't be able to get to it anyway. I continued on exploring, and in the spruce forest, I fell down a little hole in the floor, and when I got out of the hole, I noticed a mine entrance. This looks so cool. But the point of this session was not to go exploring inside any structures. I only want to find a few structures and maybe mark them on a map or something, keep the coordinates handy so that we can come back to it. This one looked really interesting. Looking down the ladder, I saw it went down not too deep, but I was intrigued by the bricks at the bottom of the hole. I would mark it and come back to that, but first I needed to find a safe space to sleep, as the sun was already setting on this day. I took a break to admire my surroundings again. I have to say, this mod pack has such beautiful biome generation. I can't say it enough. Crossing over the hill, I noticed another bridge and I thought I could just as well have a nap on the bridge. That would be safe enough, and it hasn't been night long enough for any creepies to spawn. So ends the next day of our travels, but tomorrow I will continue. The next morning we went right back to running through the forest and looking for animals to eliminate. The first one found was quite easy to get rid of. It got stuck against the hill. The second one though, let's just say it had me running for a bit. But eventually we got him and we continued on. We found an altar, which even though it looked very good and promising, it failed to deliver on the front of the loot. We went for a swim, which is always amazing, considering I'm wearing a full suit of iron armor. That is a sign of strength for you. But eventually we came upon some enemies and we had to deal with them. The first four quickly saw me hiding in the tree and came right at me. But I wasn't scared. I felt well protected where I was. Then we took one on long range and my final arrow hit the spot solid. And then it was time to have a look at what these guys were protecting. Now this chest had a few nice items, but nothing special. Few pieces of gold, an iron, and a name tag. my inventory was getting flooded, so we would need to think about heading home sometime soon. But first I'll have to have a nap. I started the next morning with a boat trip across the river. And eventually we came upon another structure. This tower looked really interesting, but the nasty mobs lurking around it scared me a little bit, and I realized that I wasn't equipped to take it on yet. I will have to come back to it at a later stage when I have better equipment and maybe some more powerful weapons. But right next to it was something that I thought I could take on. This looked like some sort of temple. A jungle temple, not quite. This one was made of wood, not stone. But I thought, let's take it on. And let's see what's inside. Maybe we can get some good loot. First I got to the levers and I wasn't in the mood to try and figure out the puzzle. I could never figure these out, and I know they are probably not that complicated, but I decided to just go ahead and break my way in. There surely has to be a chest or two inside, but I was going to take everything from this temple. All the rails, all the redstone, all the everything that it has to offer. Even though my inventory was getting quite stuffed, I was sure that I could make space for whatever is available to take home with us. Turning the corner, I could see a trap, but I was sure at this point I have broken so much of the redstone that that trap should be pretty much disabled, and it wasn't going to bother us too much. But still, I was careful to stay out of the direct line where this dispenser was pointing, just to stay out of its way. When I opened the dispenser, there was quite a few arrows of poison, but I wanted to see what's in the chest below it, so I had to break it to open the chest. The chest had a few nice goodies. This multi-shot book would come in handy, a few pieces of iron and some emeralds, and this amazing looking spikes. Maybe we could build a trap with them. I will have to figure out. But at this point, the inventory has started to become a real mess. If nothing else, I assumed there must be at least some redstone behind these levers. But when I broke in, I noticed that there are 2 chests, more loot that I couldn't carry, but we had to make a plan to take as much of it as possible. So sorting through my bundles, I made space and took everything that I thought was of value, and then made my way back outside. But night has caught up with us, and I had to sleep inside the temple for the night. The next morning I woke up with a visit from a very nasty local trying to cause me harm, but I dealt with him, and I made my way back home. Through the forest and across the rivers, jumping into the water and seeing nothing new, but my mind was just set on getting back home to store my loot. We finally made it back home, but I felt that I haven't done exploring yet. I wanted to go back out in the world to explore some more, but we had to drop off our loot first. So I think in the next episode I will continue exploring. And since I got such nice loot this time around, from enchanted books to emeralds, gold and iron, and a few other nice tidbits, I thought it would be perfect to continue exploring in the next episode. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope I'll see you again next time. You must have a lovely day, and goodbye. Hello Blocky Adventurers, and welcome back to the Better Minecraft Survival series. Today we get right back into exploring, and in preparation for this expedition, I have gone ahead and made myself a backpack, as you can see on my back. Now, since we had the resources available, before coming out to explore further, I went ahead to make a frayed backpack, which is basically just a chest surrounded by leather. We do have the resources, so I immediately upgraded the frayed backpack to a plated backpack, which I then upgraded to the gilded backpack by just surrounding it with gold. So now we have enough storage with us, our inventory is bigger, and we can continue exploring. And what do we have here? This looks like the entrance to a mine. Oh my. In the last episode I didn't really, I only explored looking for structures, but I didn't investigate. But I think today we are going to go ahead and investigate what's in this mine. We do have the inventory space available. We've got enough of them. I've got a few bundles in my backpack. So let's go ahead and check this mine out. Wow. Have a look at this. This goes down pretty deep. Let me just drop a torch down there, because in this mod pack, when you drop a torch, as you can see down below, we can see a little bit better. It does create some light. I'm gonna drop a water bucket because I don't trust this ladder to go down all the way. So let's see what we've got. Oh my goodness. Seems that this mine shaft is going right through a lush cave. I will definitely come and collect some of these moss blocks and other resources from the lush cave as we go along. But for now, let me just add a little bit of light, and then we can go down further down this mine shaft. I have to say the water bucket was a good idea. So this seems to be the entrance of the mine. Let me just place a few torches. And we are greeted with a mine card with a chest. Okay, but before I check what's in there, let me just go through and light up this tunnel. We don't need any nasty surprises. We don't need any mobs creeping up on us. So let me see if we can add some more light. This looks like a little work area. Let's just check this barrel. Nice. I'll take everything and break the barrel. Then let's see what's down the rest of this tunnel. I think the most dangerous part of these mines are the fact that there are quite a few spider nests around in them. Other than that, I am not too concerned, and this one being in a lush cave seems pretty well lit up, so we won't be expecting too many mobs down here. Here's another little workstation with a crafting table, so you know the rules of this series. I'm not breaking any. Let's check these pots. Maybe there's something nice in them. Oh, whoa, whoa, silverfish. That shouldn't be a problem. Diamond sword versus silverfish. Diamond sword should win every time. Let's continue down there. Oh, what's here? This is it's a creeper. That should also not be a problem. Got stuck behind the fence, and I am able to take it out really without any fuss. Seems we are getting to the end of this tunnel. Few icicles hanging down from the roof. Those, I think they are pretty useless. But let's check what's in this chest. Diamond! Oh my, that's awesome. I'll be breaking these minecarts with chests. Maybe set up a little storage area at the beginning of the mine to store all our good loot. Then I'm thinking, just to keep track of which tunnels I have explored and which I haven't, I'll be blocking off all the tunnels that I haven't gone down to with dirt, because I do have some of it with me. Now let's make our way back to the entrance while blocking off all of these side tunnels. Ah, that's better. Let's have a look at what's in this chest. Another diamond. That's awesome. I'll take that. Now, inventory is full already. But I think what we can do is just quickly put a few things away in our bundles. Let's see. I've got all these things, that's the ones and twos. All these items can go into a bundle. That's where the bundles really do come in very handy. So let me just get those seeds as well. And then I should have space to collect this minecart. Now, even with my backpack and all the bundles that I've got, storage is still a problem. The inventory is still too small. So I thought I'd set up these minecarts with chests here right at the entrance, so that I can store a few more things and a little more loot. But the minecarts didn't want to work with me, so I had to think of another plan. Now, while I was thinking, I watched the goldfish and the tropical fish that were swimming here in my little water stream, and an idea came to mind. Let's put the barrel at the end of the rails. That way, the minecarts won't be able to slide off the rails. I did that and placed my minecarts, and now I could empty my inventory. I can just imagine that when we are done with this mine, I might have to come back a few times to collect all my loot. Now, upon further exploration, I figured out that when a mine shaft ends in cobblestone, there's usually quite a bit of loot hidden between the cobblestone. So I continued digging out some coal that was the end of this tunnel, and I thought, why not collect some clay as well? On we go, more exploring to do. As I got to this cross section of the next tunnel, I got ambushed by a couple of zombies. Now I have to be honest, they did cause me a little bit of harm, but my life was never in danger. The diamond sword did its thing, and I finished off the zombies without a sweat. I continued to block off the uncharted territory so that we can continue to explore in peace. Further along, I found an iron door protecting I don't know what. But we also saw more pots which I had to break, but there was nothing special inside. And since there wasn't a button or anything to open the iron door, I just broke it down with my pickaxe. Inside this room, we found a spawner, a barrel and an anvil. The barrel was easy. I just took everything. After I emptied the barrel, I thought, why not take it with me? I could use the storage. The anvil also had to come with me because anvils costs a lot of iron. So why not? I continued on and mined a few pieces of copper, and when I turned around, I saw diamonds. I need to collect quite a few of these because we want to get to diamond armor soon. I broke the first one and saw a second one, but that was all there was, only 2 pieces. But beggars can't be choosers, so I took both of them and continued on. Now it seems that I have found everything that was to be found on this level of the mine, so I decided to take a break and play hide and seek with the rascals. The first one gave me a bundle, and when I found the second one, I guess another bundle was the order of the day, and the rewards did not disappoint. Iron ore and another iron pickaxe. Wow, now that was a journey and a half. We got so much loot. I spent a little bit of time sorting it out just so that I can share with all of you all the goodies that we have found on our exploration. Ready? Here we go. Just look at all the clay that we found. We also got this infinity book. We've got a few diamonds, gold, iron, some ores, lapis, coal, all the things that you would want from a Minecraft world. The diamonds isn't that many, but it is a start, and I think we can make some progress with it. On the other hand, we collected a lot of rails, a bit of string, and this antique ink, which isn't too useful it seems. Make a written book, map, sepia globe, nothing too interesting. And then here's all the odds and ends. A few minecarts with chests, some seeds, berries, and spider webs. So now I'm going to go ahead and put away all these items that we have found, and then I think we need to make a plan to go to the Nether sometime soon. But I think first off I need to collect a little bit more leather. I want to make a second backpack, as I missed the quest when I made the first one, since I went directly in my crafting table and never picked up the frayed backpack, which we need to complete the quest. So thank you for watching this episode, and remember, if you would like to stay up to date with content, please subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, but only if you enjoyed it. And please, if you've got anything on your mind, leave it in the comments so that we can have a little bit of a discussion about it. Thank you for watching, and you should have a lovely day. I will see you next time. Goodbye.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Better Minecraft. In today's episode, winter has caught up with us and all the rivers and lakes are freezing over. Later on we make a pickaxe and chase after some pigs or boars. And eventually, while trying to find leather, we discover a ruined portal. So let's get right on with it and enjoy this episode. So we are getting close to day 100 now, and there's still a few things that I would like to complete before we get there. I'm thinking that at some point I would like to expand our farming operations, but that is a little bit on the back burner for now, because I think it's time that we visit the Nether, because there's a few things that I need from the Nether to sort out our storage system. While we are looking around, I want to gather some more leather as well, because I want to create that second backpack. I missed the quest on the first backpack, so I need to make a second one, and the additional inventory space would also be a helpful accomplishment. But first things first, we're going to go out in the world, look for more boars or maybe cows to get some more leather, and then we are going to make the second backpack, and by that time we should have enough inventory space to take on a quick trip to the Nether. Will be a quick trip, but we will go there nonetheless. Now, one of the reasons why I want to go to the Nether is that I want to start looking into the Tom's storage mod that's included in this mod pack. This will help us sort out a lot of our storage situation, but as you can see, we need an ender pearl and we need some nether quartz. We're also going to need glowstone, so I want to go to the Nether, maybe collect a few ender pearls, maybe a stack of quartz, and maybe a stack of glowstone if we can find that much. Before we go out in the world, I am going to create a diamond pickaxe. So the diamond pickaxe, I do have 5 diamonds, and I think this is just the next logical step. And when we come back from the Nether, we might look into either expanding our farming area or getting a full set of diamond armor. But let me go out in the world and see if we can find some more leather first. Now, it is winter, makes it much easier to cross the rivers and the water, and since we've got a few dead fish lying around, I'll just as well collect it. It is food, isn't it? Oh my, I don't have all the leather I need yet, but have a look at what we've discovered. This is going to make our life so much easier. This is a ruined nether portal, and I think there is enough obsidian around to fix the portal, and we have a chest to loot. A few iron nuggets, flint and steel, golden boots. I'll take everything. The golden boots might come in handy when we go to the nether. But this is awesome. I think we're going to stop looking for leather first and try and get this portal fixed up. But it is getting dark and I think it is time to go and have a nap. Maybe when the sun is back, we will use our diamond pickaxe and get this portal sorted out. We're not quite ready to go to the nether, but we will be soon enough. When we open the map, I will show you that right about here is the portal that we're going to, I think we're going to fix it, and then eventually we're going to build a path all along here to the bridge and then connecting our little homestead with the nether portal. Let's get back to it. What do I need to fix this portal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of obsidian. I've only got 2 pieces with me, but we can easily get more. So let's get the diamond pickaxe and then we can mine this piece of obsidian over here. Then on the other side, I've also got a piece of obsidian. Just want to do this, make sure there's no more lava underneath, because we don't want to lose the obsidian. It takes ages and ages to mine these things. So we don't want to risk losing any of it. So there we go. It's another 2 pieces and I can probably get this piece as well. That should give us enough, I think. If the crying obsidian is going to work when we try to light this portal up. But I guess there's only one way to find out. And let's complete the portal and see if we can light it up. And no, it doesn't work. So we're going to have to remove the crying obsidian, which is 3 pieces, but I think we can take the corners off the portal and use those to complete the portal. I'm sure the portal size 2 by 3 on the inside is good enough. That is the smallest portal that we can make. But now suddenly I'm not feeling too sure about it. Let's get those 2 top corners off. Use that to fix the portal. Where did it go? Ah, there you go. Got it. And another one. There we go. That piece can stay right there, I think. Let's just replace this one and that one. Try to light it up again. There you go. Awesome stuff. And for now, I'm just going to use these 2 pieces of crying obsidian up there to just complete the portal. I don't like portals without the corners. So, as I said, I want to go visit the Nether, but since we've got the portal ready, I need another 2 pieces of leather to make another backpack. So before we go to the Nether, let's just see if we can find another pig or a cow or something that we can make the backpack with. Finally made our way back home, so I'm quickly going to just collect some iron and gold, because we will need some of that to make the golden backpack. Now, to make the backpack, we're placing a chest surrounded by leather, and that gives us a frayed backpack. What I didn't do last time is to put the backpack in my inventory, which completes the quest. Now you can see that the quest has been completed, and we can collect our 4 pieces of iron for that. Now we can just upgrade the backpack by surrounding it with iron. That will give us a plated backpack. We've already collected that advancement. And then if we surround the plated backpack with gold, it gives us a gilded backpack. So now we've got 2 backpacks, which should give us more than enough inventory space. So here we are back at the Nether portal, and I think I don't feel ready to go in there, but I think it's time that we go in there. The mission is to find maybe a stack of nether quartz, a stack of glowstone, and just a handful of ender pearls, if we could manage that. But first off, let me get my shield up, and I think let's just do this. Where did I spawn? What is... No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh my goodness. Why do those ghasts always have to come and spoil the party? Let's see if we can... Of course, I don't have a bow with me, but I do have a... I do have a crossbow. Let's see if we can... Oh, he's not happy about that. Got him. Okay, I'm not gonna go after that ghast here. Let's see what we've got. Here we've got some nether quartz. Really, this is one of the things we came here for. Not a lot, but let's just see what we've got. There's some more up there. How are we gonna get there? See if we can just break up here. Okay, let me collect. Yes, quite a bit, I see. It's only 11 or 12 so far, but it is a start. Geez, that ghast took me by surprise. I mean, I know we should expect them in the Nether, but that really caught me off guard. Now, I'm always very careful in the Nether because, you know, things can get spicy. What's going on here? What the hell? No, let me get away from there. This just feels so unsafe. Let's see if we can go this side way and oh my goodness, there's an Enderman. Now, I don't know if I can take him on. That's an ender pearl. Oh my word, this is... Jeez. What the frickin' hell? What was that? Okay, that should be 2 ender pearls, but my life is draining. I need to find a safe space just to recuperate a bit. Let me just dig in here and let me just eat some more. So why do I still have a wither effect going on? I mean, this is really strange. I don't think I like those Nagas. I do see some more nether quartz over here, which I can collect. Now I've got 2 ender pearls, almost half a stack of nether quartz, and I need to find some glowstone. And geez, I don't like this place at all. There is some glowstone right over there. I think this... Well, let's just see. Oh my gosh. Okay, over here is some glowstone, which is easy enough to get to. I'm telling you, the sounds in the Nether is making it more scary than it actually should be. Guys, I'm just gonna collect this glowstone and then make a run to get out of here. I can't deal with these Endermen and wither creatures. This is going to kill me if I don't leave soon. let's get out of here. Yeah, no, let's just get out of here. If I can just remember how. Where is our portal? Ah, I see it, I see it, I see it. So let's go down here, let's run. Where's our portal? Let's just get out of here. Fair enough, goodbye. Goodbye, portal. I'm gonna go back home. This has been a bad enough experience. I wanna get home. We can go look at our loot once we're home. But I think I've got enough of what I need to sort out our enchantments, or I've got enough to sort out the storage system, and I'm pretty much not going to mess about with the Nether any further. It is snowing. Hello Shaky, how are you doing? You fine in the snow, or do you need to come inside? Really? Okay, you can stay outside. Let me go and pick up those chests, then I'll come back home. So guys, this trip has really been working on my nerves. I knew the likelihood of death was really high, but I think it was successful. We've got everything we need to get the storage system going, I think. So after my nap, I will build it and we can have a look at how successful we are. So ideally I am going to need a little more diamonds. I think I'm 3 diamonds short to do the final part of the storage system, but I think for now we can at least get our storage system set up in such a way that we can access all our items from one central spot. But let me go and have a nap. I'll see you when the sun is back up. So we are going to use the Tom's storage mod, which is why I went to the Nether, why I had to collect some Nether quartz, glowstone and ender pearls. So if I could quickly show you what we need to do. First off, we will need to create an inventory connector. So that you just need 2 chests, a diamond, ender pearl and a redstone comparator, which obviously if you've been playing Minecraft, this is a pretty basic recipe, but you need redstone torches, nether quartz and stone. Then once we've got the inventory connector, we need to make a storage terminal, which is basically a chest, a glowstone and 2 redstone comparators. So I have went ahead and made the inventory connector as well as the storage terminal, and I have placed them right over here. So first off, on the storage terminal, if you right click it, you can see all our items that's down in the storage. I will go down there to show you how I have connected it all in a moment. And then by right clicking on the inventory connector, you can see how many space we have left in our storage. So currently we are on 1250 units free of 1539 total slots. So if we go down here to our little storage area, you can see that all the chests are connected by barrels. and all the barrels are connected right here where the storage terminal is set up right above there. Now, the way that Tom storage works is that all connected storage containers within a 16 by 16 area from the storage connector will be able to be read by the storage connector. So the next thing I want to do is create a little bit more storage so that we can fill up this area a bit more. So we have 65 barrels. Let's go and just place them down in the storage area. So this looks good. We have space to put quite a few more barrels, but I think for now this is going to be enough. Let's see how many slots we now have. A total of almost 3,300 slots, and over 3,000 of those slots are free. So guys, this has been a fun episode. We did a lot of exploring in the Nether, and we also got our storage system sorted. Next time when you see me, we are going to just do some basic cleanup around our homestead and maybe work on that path towards the Nether portal. So for now, I would like to thank you for watching the episode, and I will see you next time. Hello gamers, and welcome back to Better Minecraft. So while I finish harvesting our crops, I want to let you know about what the expectations are going forward. What is this on doing on the farm? I hope he's not damaging our crops. Maybe he's eating our crops, who knows? Rosalind, did you adopt an ant as a pet? Okay, ignore me, go to bed. Maybe I should check this chest, see if there's anything that I can trade with our villagers. I don't have much in here, so let me go and have a nap, and I will explain everything in the morning. Okay, so when we have a look at the map, over here is our tavern, and this is our home. The next thing I want to do is to start building a path out to connect our Nether portal to our homestead. Then I would also like to start clearing up space over here to build a library, and over on this side we are going to start digging a big hole. So that is part of another big project that we are going to take on in this series, but for now, digging the hole will mean we can gather resources to build other items. Further along, I would like to expand the farming area over here, and I think that is going to keep us busy for quite some time. So I have marked out our path that we are going to follow towards the Nether portal using torches. Torches was the cheapest item I could make that would make it quite easy to follow. So let's clear the trees and watch out. I don't know whether the falling snow will cause any damage, but rather be safe than sorry. And follow along while I clear out some trees. Now night has fallen and we didn't get very far, but I think you get the idea, and over the next few days I will continue clearing out the trees. But first I think I should get back to safety and go and have a little nap before we get overwhelmed by the nightlife in this world. So we have a lot of plans, but I think the first thing would be we need to expand our farming operations. So we've got a lot of plans, and those plans will depend on us being able to gather resources. Now, to gather resources, we need better tools. To get better tools, I'm going to have to trade with villagers, and to be able to do that, we will need to get emeralds, which we will be getting by trading with the farmer villagers. So to start off with, I think we are going to expand our crop area this side, like the wheat field we can expand a little bit, and then the beetroot as well. We have a little bit of space to expand, and then we will do the same for potatoes and tomatoes. So let me get going by starting with the wheat fields. So this looks good. I think we will just terraform a little bit this side. So this is a nice expansion, but we are going to go even further over on this side as well. So this farming area over here, we are going to remove it completely. So we will have to see if this freezes over or not, but I believe it should not freeze over. Now let's go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say here. We'll do another one. Row of them right down here. It's really nice that we can use dirt stairs. And it just gives a different look. So I think this one we will do this way around, and I am going to be short, so I'll have to go and make some more stairs. Let's quickly go get some more. So I've got 12 more stairs. Let's see how this is going to work out for us. So up to here, and then we can start filling them. It's nice that with the waterlogging stairs, it also does create infinite water sources. So it just makes our life a little bit easier in terms of getting all the stairs filled with water. There you go. Unfortunately, this is now creating a bit more water than what we would like, but I think once the ice melts, it should be better. Let's see if we do that. Break another one, put the water in. There you go. Now it's going exactly where we want it to. This one is just break water. We can break this one. I think that will make it just go straight in. So if we do this side as well, there you go. So that's going to be much nicer. So let me go ahead and turn all this into farmland so that we can plant more wheat. This day is also coming to an end again, and feels like we're not making too much progress too quickly. But I would like to at least finish expanding the wheat field before we end this episode on day 100. We've still got 2 days left, so I think I can make quite a bit of progress still. I think this is going to be plenty of wheat, and I think this is going to be good. I think just clean up some of the snow. I want to use the snow at some point as building blocks as well, so I should actually start collecting more of it whenever I have the opportunity to. So it looks like all our wheat fields are getting hydrated. So let me go and have a nap. I'll be back in the morning. Okay, so let's get it going and see if we can fill up that wheat field that we have created. Now, I would like to, if we have some time, decorate the wheat field, maybe put in some walls so that it just looks a little bit more structured than what it does at the moment. But for now, I think the most important thing is to get the wheat in so that it can start growing. Wheat doesn't grow in winter, but I think we are halfway through winter already. At least almost halfway through, and then spring the wheat will start growing again. So I have plenty of wheat seeds, so we can get them in. And I'm sure I will have enough. I think with this wheat field, we're not going to be short of wheat again anytime soon. Almost there. Only one more road to go. There you go. How do you like that? This is going to give us so much wheat. Now I do think that I would like to maybe get some, maybe bamboo or sugarcane growing here. I think, let's see if we can get some bamboo. I don't know how permanent that will be, but for now, just to have something growing here at the edge of the wheat field, just to sort of create a barrier for the wheat. Well, this bamboo does grow really quickly, and I don't think the seasons mod has an effect on the bamboo growth. Check this one. We just planted it and it's already grown up. So these crayfish, I don't really know what their deal is, but do they eat any of the blocks we throw at them? Doesn't look like it, and I don't think I can feed anything to it. Okay, so what I want to do is get some, maybe get some leaves, and because of winter, and as you can see, all the leaves in winter, they turn a different color, but the spruce leaves does not. So I'm thinking maybe I can go out and collect some spruce leaves that we can use as decoration. Then we'll just chop the tree down and plant a new one. We don't want to destroy the area really. We've almost got a stack of leaves already. Then this tree I think we can also do. That's it for our shears at least. But let's chop down this tree. Now, because all the leaves are connected, this isn't gonna look very nice. So let's break that one. See. Oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna have to break all of these trees now. Can use the wood at least, and I'm sure this one looks okay. So let's collect the wood and the saplings. We'll plant a few trees just to make up for the ones that we've chopped down. I think Then let's do a big spruce tree there, and then we'll just plant a few birch trees again as well. Now my inventory is full, but maybe the 2 snowballs can just go away. I do want to collect more snow, but the true is not going to make that much of a difference. It's so easy to collect snow anyway. Now let's use the iron sword and harvest some of this bamboo so that we can plant a little bit more. And obviously now I can't collect the bamboo because my inventory is full. There you go. I think that's enough bamboo. The bamboo leaves, they are not that useful, but I think let's just collect them. We may be able to use them for something at some point. I just want to put some bushes up, maybe just to create a little bit of a fence area surrounding our fields, just to make it look more fenced in, if I can put it that way. I don't want to completely fence it in. I think something like that is looking good. Maybe that. Yeah, I think that's good for this side. And over here we might just put in a nice stone wall or cobblestone wall later on. Hello gamers! So, in the beginning of the episode, I spoke about some plans, which includes a library. But first of all, I would like to say, if you've come this far in the episode, I'm sure you liked it enough to leave a like. And maybe if you want to keep up to date what we are doing in the future, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It does help the channel a lot. But let's get on with it. So, in this area over here, I think this is far enough from everything. Maybe just a little deeper in here between the trees. We are going to start clearing out here in the near future, because I think this is the perfect site for our library. And a bonus, it's not too far from the tavern, so we should be able to get a few librarians quite easily. Now, if we can go to the site I've been thinking of for the other project, the big hole, I think this side is going to be quite good. I don't want to be too close to the tavern, but it shouldn't be too far either. Now, this is going to be a huge build, or dig if you want to look at it that way. part of the point of this project is going to be that we need to get resources. So I'm going to mark out the area that I'm thinking of using with torches. So as we come to nighttime, this is the first 100 days of our exploration adventure in Better Minecraft coming to an end. In the next 100 days, I can assure you of much more exploration, adventures, and just trading with villagers. Now, I have seen something on the map, on the very edge of the map, which I would like to explore next time that I see you. But first of all, I need to get home, because the nightlife, well, the nightlife, as you know, would like to eat us alive. But before I go, oops, those zombies are coming where they shouldn't. Before we go, let's see if we can quickly check the map, and I can show you what I want to explore. So if you look right here at the left corner of the map, looks like a ruined area, and next time we will be going there. But okay, we'll check it next time. So guys, thank you for joining me, and I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you again sometime soon on the next episode, where we take on day 101. Goodbye.